And welcome back to the Delaware Boys Dynasty Football Podcast. Ryan, say what's up to the people.
Steven, how we doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'll be honest with you. Had a little bit of a trouble putting my daughter down to bed, but I'm here for it.
Hey, as long as she stays asleep, we're golden. Respectfully, if you have to go, you have to go. All times for that. But that being said, we got another rookie draft profile today. I think this one's more than overdue. We should have done him probably a while ago. Tonight, covering JJ McCarthy. Finally making his way. Both of our consensus QB4s, I think for most people, probably the same. But, yeah, I'm finally ready to break into some JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. This one was – sorry, I was letting everybody know we're live. This one was a difficult profile to break down. Limited passing volume really hinders the fact that JJ's not as exposed as most of these other QBs. He has an elite running game. He had an elite defense at Michigan. There were games where he was just a game manager, and that's what I kind of viewed it as, was just a game manager type profile who just knew how to operate a pro style offense. But as I broke it down, there's some things about JJ McCarthy I really like. And again, like we always say, the profile isn't perfect. These rookies aren't perfect. So here we are. Let's talk about JJ McCarthy, bro. Let's dive into it.
So I think something really important you touched on already. I just want to reiterate the point. Something I had in my notes that kind of like blew my mind is you're right. He's very hard to evaluate as far as looking at stats. A lot of people go straight to the stats and say, hey, he didn't even throw for 3,000 yards in college football, which is fair. But you really break it down. You're looking at a team 59.5% of the time running the ball. That's 17th out of 133 schools. And then you flip on the other side, they threw the ball in 40.4, and that was 117th out of 133 eligible schools. Right. So it's tough. The production is not there.
100%.
Yeah,
he had a top 3 defense, and he had Harbaugh, the let's run it first down your throat coach, and then you had Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards in the backfield. Of course, we knew what this team was about. Yeah, and, that's why it's so hard to do a Roman Wilson profile.
It's true too.
It's so hard because there's such limited exposure on all this Michigan tape. It's a limited exposure across the board. But so JJ, the thing that I can point out that I really did like about his season here in 2023, national champion, big games, played in huge games. So let's just point that out. The Bama game being, to me, the national championship of the year. That was a tough game for them. We talking about an overtime game, I believe a double overtime game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And again, Blake Corum sealed the deal in that game. It wasn't JJ, but great overall management of the game. That's one thing I can point out. But in Michigan, he has a Michigan record now, 72.6% completion percentage. That has to stand out to you.
For sure. But it's also, I don't mean to discredit it, because that's a great number. I think he's up there, probably second or third. I know Bo Nix is a little bit higher, but he's up there.
Overall. He was 6 overall in the country.
6 overall. That's nothing to scoff at. But it comes down to it. Is he just a game manager at the next level? And to me, unless your name is Alex Smith, and even Alex Smith got a boot quick, if he's going to be strictly a game manager in the NFL, I don't see him lasting too long. And I think that's where my main concern is, especially now you see him creeping into the back end of firsts, sometimes in the mid picks if people are desperate for a quarterback. I think from a standpoint like that, it gets a little risky as far as how long he can stay in the league if he is only a game manager and game manager only.
100%. So let's jump into the profile here. Again, there's some pros here for me. I'll be honest with you. The first thing I want to bring up, plenty of experience working under center in a pro style scheme. I think a Michigan offense is in a pro style offense, not just Michigan, I'm going to say pro style, is the easiest offense to transition to into the NFL. A lot of work under center. If you notice when I'm talking about a lot of work under center, you'll see the things that, like when I talk about his dropbacks, he has amazing footwork. I can't deny the fact that the dude has beautiful footwork in the pocket, and that is from a clean pocket and also a collapsing pocket. That's one thing that really stood out to me about JJ. And the fact of the matter is they handed him the keys to the offense. Any audibles, anything he saw at the line of scrimmage he didn't like, audible out of the play, they gave him those keys. He did that well, very well. Only had 4 interceptions last year. So let's just bring that up too.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. That was one of my other points is like he takes so well care of the ball. Only 1.2% of his passes turned out to be interceptions. That's can't get much better than that, to be honest with you. But I think you kind of hit on – I don't mean to like kind of glaze over all of the pros that he has, but, I mean, you covered it most anything other than the only thing you didn't mention is he's got a pretty solid deep ball. Doesn't have the strongest arm, can't get the ball down 65 yards or nothing nuts like that, but he does have a solid deep ball and the ability to throw the ball in stride on deep passes. You saw it on display all year with Roman Wilson and him.
Yeah. You remember how we were praising Caleb Williams for his ability to play out of structure?
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy is another QB that deserves a lot of credit. Top 10 in completion percentage outside of the pocket. I also want to bring up, as the pocket is collapsing, talk about his ability to slide, move to his left, move to his right, and the ability to throw at many of different arm angles just to get a pass off. Yeah. Those are traits that you don't see very often from a QB, especially that's an experience level way beyond where I think JJ McCarthy should be. But here we are. We're talking about JJ McCarthy possessing this skill set, and that's something that could translate well to the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that really gets me is you already touched on it, but just something that I can't overlook as much as like I want to kind of dislike him and kind of write him off as like quarterback. He has very strong pocket presence.
Sure. I also like his toughness. If you ever notice, the dude's not afraid to take contact in the pocket on a collapsing pocket. He doesn't draw away from standing tall, delivering that throw. And he's always a player that keeps his legs moving to pick up the extra yardage. I love how tough he is. He was a leader on and off the field for that Michigan offense. He had high praise across the board from his coaching staff,
absolutely,
QB coach, to the players that were on the offensive field with him. Those things, they speak volumes when you're talking about a player in that high of regard. And like I said, man, you don't just go win a national championship and not be regarded as one of the top players in the nation when it comes to the QB position. Other than that, man, I can just say, like I said, he has a beautiful rollout. He has a beautiful ability to escape in the pocket. His ability to play out of structure is awesome. Like you said, not the deepest or not the scariest arm in the country, but he can make every throw. You know who he reminds me of a lot with his arm? Yeah. Doesn't have a strong arm. Joe Burrow's arm. He has that kind of arm. Joe Burrow's arm isn't great, but Joe Burrow can make every throw on the field as well. I'm not saying he's Joe Burrow. That's not where I'm going with this. But at the same time, these are the kind of traits that we see.
Right.
Can he put it together from a full standpoint? I don't know. Because there are some negatives about his profile that stand out to me as well. One being you're in a pro-style system and you get stuck on your first read a lot. You lock into your first read, and that a lot of the times to JJ McCarthy, that's his only read. That is not a good trait to have. That's a very scary trait.
Yeah, no, that's something you don't play around with, especially at the next level. Really, really, because guys are bigger, faster. They're coming a lot quicker than they are in college. So he's got to at least get through that at least. Because at the end of the day, I mean, he is great outside the pocket, but you also don't want him staring at his first read until he has to roll out and panic to try to find the guy. And then my big negative is we touched on it in private conversations before, but he really struggles from the left side of the field on deep passes. It drops from the right side. He's great. He's up over, I think, around 58% completion passes from the right side, 10 yards and more, which is really solid. Right. You go to the left side of the field, that percentage drops down to 42.6%, which is pretty steep fall off. You even see in his pro day, kind of struggled a little bit to the left side. That's definitely something look at the next level. Because if he's strong to the right, NFL defenses are going to be strong to the right. I'm not saying that can't be fixed, but it's definitely something you can't look past at all with JJ McCarthy.
Sure. Again, my thing is I'm going to go back to my point here with the ability, with reading sluggish throughout his reads. Also, deceptive eyes are the best eyes of the quarterback. If you can look off your safeties and you can set the safeties up how you want before the play happens, then guess what? You're golden. But guess what? JJ McCarthy doesn't do that. He doesn't do that well at all. He can't get the safety to roll out of the box and get the safety where he wants in the field for the placement. That scares me a lot, guys. I mean, if you don't have deceptive eyes as a quarterback and you can't look off safeties and linebackers, what are you doing? Where are you at?
We'll see. I think he's one of those guys who kind of feels like I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable going out there week one, to be honest with you. He's got raw talent. It's definitely there. I'm not saying he doesn't have the potential to make it in the league. He does, but there's some red flags you can't look past with him. I think, for me at least, the big question in this video is, do you think he deserves that top 5 draft value? For me, I was more comfortable when he was being mocked to the Broncos a little bit later.
That's 12, right? 13? 12,
yeah,
13.
12.
Yeah.
I think it's 12. I felt comfortable with him there. Top 5, you're getting a little risky for me. I'm not for it. No, example of my team, the Giants, who were in talks of loving JJ McCarthy. If they trade into the top 5 and give up all this future value, not feeling comfortable about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you also can't miss the fact that sometimes that, like, you'll notice that he throws the ball behind his receiver, leaving the DBs, the linebackers, the safeties, whoever's making a play on the ball, the ability and open window to make a play on the ball. Another big thing that stood out to me was the timing. I actually think he throws receivers not open when I'm talking about his timing. I'm talking about the ball doesn't get out of his hands fast enough to get his receivers into a spot where they can make a play. If you can't throw your receivers open, we have another problem.
Yeah.
Again, we're only talking about 358 pass attempts. It's limited, but these things show on 358 pass attempts.
Right.
We watched every single pass attempt from JJ McCarthy this year. It's not many, but there's red flags, guys.
Yeah,
is what it is. I'll be honest with you. I was hard struck to come up with a comp for this one, but for some reason,
God bless you for doing comps, man. I swear, God bless you.
For some reason, my mind landed on Baker Mayfield. For some reason, my mind lands to Baker Mayfield when I watch JJ play. Maybe I know we're talking about Baker Mayfield as a first overall pick, so right. I get it.
Well, it's a little different, but right. Yeah, I see what you're saying as far as like a skill set goes.
Right. I see a lot of Baker when I watch JJ play. Is that bad? I don't know. We just watched Baker have the best season of his career. Is it good? I don't know, because I also watched Baker Mayfield be one of the worst QBs in the third and fourth quarter in the NFL for a 3-year stretch. And a lot of people,
a little rough there for the Browns.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Odell's whole family said, "Yo, get my son away from Baker. He's absolutely dog shit." So, what is it? I don't know how to. I don't know where I'm at with Baker Mayfield's NFL career, but I do know in college he showed flashes of being great.
Yeah.
So the question comes to being, do I believe JJ McCarthy is a top 5 overall pick? No, I do not. I 100% do not believe that. Like you said, I feel better with JJ McCarthy in the top 15.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Once he starts falling out to like the top 15, maybe not Kenny Pickett range at 20, but top 15 I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay up to go get JJ. If the Vikings rumors are true, I'm not paying 11 and 23 to move up to get JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Although the Vikings have one of the best skill position groups in the NFL, I would love to play in Minnesota. That would be a dream destination spot. but I'm not paying that capital to get JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, it scares me, especially 2 first-round picks.
Sure.
Especially gave up value to get the second one in the first place. I just don't think he's worth it. If they can find a way to trade up and end up on Maye or Daniels for the Vikings, then sure, I see that. But for JJ, maybe hope he slides, and if you can trade up for less value, then do that.
These smoke screens happen all the time, though, bro. We watched it with Will Levis last year. We watched it with Malik Willis the year before. We can keep going down the list. Michael Penix has the same smoke screen going on right now, meeting with teams, and they're talking about first round overall. Flew out to Seattle. But
Trey Lance was supposed to be a fucking.
They traded up for Trey Lance. They traded the pick and the pick.
But he was supposed to be a Patriot, though.
Right. But overall, the smoke screens happen, ladies and gentlemen. We know that. I'm not buying into this one. So I'm just going to say that. But we do have some JJ clips that, may stand out to you guys. Some clips that we found that really show off his skill set in a versatile way. So let me go ahead and pull up. We got 3 clips to show you guys tonight.
Let's go full screen. Another thing you touched on that we kind of missed on before we do it, and we're going to see it in this tape in a second, is this play in particular, actually, he was clocked at throwing the ball 61 miles per hour, and that man can get a ball in a tight window if he really needs to. I believe it's this play. Yeah, line up in the
it's this play. It's right over the linebacker. Yep, you're going to see it. You're going to see the play action, draw the linebackers in just enough. JJ goes over the top. And boom, we're moving.
Zips it between 2 defenders. I mean, that ball can't be thrown much better than that.
Nope. And we're moving on for a first down, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great throw. It's a great use of the play action. I want to say that he does have phenomenal vision. Yeah. He saw the linebackers come up, and he took advantage of that situation. He put the ball right over his head, and we are moving the chains.
He does all the things right. It's just a matter of, can it translate?
This is a pretty cool play here. This just shows me his toughness. This is a pretty cool flea flicker play where he gets absolutely destroyed in the backfield, but he still delivers the pass here. Pretty cool play.
I love this trick play, dude. Athleticism to go up and get that ball and then make that throw is crazy. Now, is that a one-off throw? Maybe, but that.
Yeah, he got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
Pretty cool play, though. Like I said, the flea flick, it just shows his toughness. We talk about his toughness a lot. We talk about his leadership ability. He was willing to lay it all out on the line in the Rose Bowl. Absolutely phenomenal play there. This last play I want to show also shows his arm strength. This is a tight window. Bottom of your screen. It's a dual clip. It's a dual clip short. So just watch this. It's a little bit difficult to see it from both sides, but just watch JJ. You're going to see him hit his receiver on like a little slant post, and he's going to go across the middle, across the linebacker DB, and we're moving for a touchdown here.
Yep. I think if you want to run that back one more time, the best way to watch the clip is watch the bottom until he throws the ball. When he throws the ball, go to the top is the correct way to watch this video.
Yep, money.
But money ball, absolute money ball. Put it right on the receiver's hip. We're golden.
Yeah, like I said, there's things I like in the profile. There's things I don't like. Other than that, Ryan, that's going to about wrap it up for JJ McCarthy for us. Excuse me. Is there anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in as usual. I'm loving these series. This is something we've wanted to do for a while, and I feel like we've had a good time doing them. And that's about it I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching as always, Steven.
We're not done yet. We got 2 weeks for the NFL draft.
I know, man. We're not done yet. We still got – I can see some players that we need to do. We don't spoil anything, but we still got some players to go.
Saturday or Sunday, you guys can expect another mock draft. We're going to continue that series as well. We have some interviews lined up next week to continue our fantasy football creator series as well on the Twitter. So look out for that as well. As always, I never leave without saying it. Yards per thank you so much. Alex, thank you so much. Also, the rookie profile guide will be coming out very soon. I think they were down to like four to six players left to finish, and then it's going to drop. Be on the lookout for that.
Look out for that, because we've seen me and Steve see some previews. We can't even see it yet, but from what we've seen, it's really fucking good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to end our podcast for the night. And on that note, we are